Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am ZBest. Today I have a review video on the new marathon reward vehicle, the AltProto AMX 30. So, quick look at the stats of the tank. Here we see the DPM is not actually that bad. 2291 with my bounty and food loadout. I wasn't running any of these. Slipping my mind as to what they're called. But anyways, aim time. That is one of the bad things about the gun. The gun is really nice otherwise. 300 alpha, 232 standard pen, which is really good, and then the 263 APCR pen of the it's basically the same gun as the Batchat AP and the AMX 5100. And even the stock gun of the AMX 30, the tier 9. It's one of the standard, I think it's a 100mm, somewhere in that vicinity. Anyways, like I said, 300 alpha, 0.32 accuracy after food, and the crew skills, which means it is quite good at sniping, though the aim time means you have to be pre-aimed. We will see in the replay that I am going to show in a second how snapshots don't really work. And also we can see that this thing is fast. 65 on a tier 8 medium tank. And it's not like it has low power to weight either. It's 24. You will get up to 65. And the 23 reverse speed will get you out of trouble real quick. This thing is really fun to play because of how fast it is and what it can do. And if you can see over here, it has 11 degrees of gun depression all the way around. Now, 11 degrees might seem like an odd number because it is in watt. There aren't very many tanks that have 11 degrees of gun depression, but man, on a tier 8 medium tank, it is really good because, as we'll see, the armor becomes a lot better with it, and it's almost cron levels because I think the cron only gets 12. View range, I recommend running optics. 380 base is kind of low. Might as well use optics so that you can actually get some assistance that way. As this thing is a premium, so you do want to use it for credit making. The reason I was using APCR is because the shell velocity is 250 better, and it has that extra 30 pen. 1250 HP is really low. Keep in mind that the T44 is like 1300, which is really on the low end, because then there's tanks like the Panther 2, which I think are like 1550. So anyways, we'll look at the armor real quick. This is with 232 pen. The front is weak. Lower plate's very weak. Even HE or Heshable. Even the upper plate's really weak. Everything outside the mantlet is very weak as well. No higher than about 150 or 190. The mantlet is really strong. Things will bounce off your mantlet. The cupola is also weak, but if you go full gun depression, so 11 degrees, look at this. Cupola completely hidden. Upper plate becomes auto ricochet. And mantlet is most of the turret. So you will actually bounce shots. You can't count on it. People can aim to the sides. But especially at mid-range, you can actually play a Ridgeline Warrior no problem. Anyways, let's get into the battle and see how it plays out. So, right from the beginning, you can see the really good mobility. This thing is fast, and that means that it can keep up with the rolls, either running away if your team is collapsing, or to chase down damage if the other team is collapsing, which in this day and age is quite useful. I was checking out the cosmetics just a little bit as we're driving. Even uphill, this thing is going around 50, which, yeah, not many tanks do at tier 8, especially not medium tanks. as with any marathon reward vehicle, you can get it from the first day with quite a lot of money. I think it's like the typical is in the $75 range US dollars. So that's for the whole bundle. It isn't just the tank, it's all the extra stuff. You also get the possibility or chance, if you grind, that you can get it totally free, though as we'll see after this battle, that is not that easy to do. As I was saying, just being a ridgeline warrior, I've bounced 2 shots already and just putting out some damage. The reload isn't super fast, 7.85 seconds with my loadout, but it is fast enough, especially with the 300 alpha. Now, the aim time hasn't really been a big deal yet because it's been all close range, which typically you wouldn't want to do, but I am top tier and I did find myself a ridgeline to work, and I have a bunch of teammates with me. But otherwise, this thing is butter. Some of my earlier games, I was trying to play a similar role, and I got absolutely wrecked. The side armor is truly awful, and the rear is even worse. HE might actually do quite a bit to this tank, so be very careful not to show your sides and rear. Here we can see that, yeah, that was actually right where I was aiming, but oh, and the turret does get damaged a lot. That is something I did find, and it can be a little bit frustrating. So there you saw that I did not fully aim in, and the shot went kind of in a random direction. Though with the premium rounds, fully aiming, it is quite a nice gun. You will pen most things, especially at tier 8, and even at tier 10, you can actually go through the lower plate of a mouse, I believe, with that much. So I wasn't expecting the STRV there. As we'll see in a little bit, the aim time is a little bit painful. I don't remember if I had hit all my snapshots. So I did hit that, though if I had fired any earlier, I would have totally missed. The aim time of, I think it's 2.24 with my loadout, is still very long. Typically the most comfortable tanks are about 1.7 with your loadout, and then that is good enough to be, and actually that was a good example of a miss. I'm pretty sure I aimed dead center and I didn't fully aim. But anyways, that is the AltProto AMX 30. It is available as the marathon reward. I don't get any more damage, so we will jump over to the marathon. So I didn't quite get this to center. Anyways, we don't need it to center, but first couple are always easy. The mission for mastery, this is where it gets a little more difficult. 850 base XP 3 times, and then this is almost a high caliber, but 7 times. This one, top player on both teams by damage caused 8 times. This one is very difficult, especially when it comes to losing teams, because on the winning team, there's typically someone who does more damage than you. And that's only the first 5. We get to the 6th, it's 900 base XP 9 times. This one will definitely be starting to push it, because I would say, unless I'm being very consistent, it'd be every other battle, which is still 20 battles for just the 6th one. And you get up to this one, 4,500 damage 9 times. If you're playing a tier 10, that actually isn't all that bad. Top player on both teams by XP earned. This is one of the hardest ones to do. On a loss, it's impossible, practically. You have to do like 10k damage at tier 10, and of course you can do tier 9s as well. But if someone on the winning team does like 4 or 5k, they'll have more XP than you. It's really difficult to get it for losses. And then for a winning team, again, unless you're playing something that has really high XP multiplier, not like not as in like a ×2 or ×3, but there are certain tanks that have a higher base XP than others. At tier 5, like the Churchill 3, at tier 8, like the T44s and the Mod 1, those are all good examples. At tier 10, I don't actually know the best ones, but this becomes very difficult. Tier, like the 9th level, this is where it becomes way harder. 28 top player on your team by damage caused. Now, if this was like 15 or 20, sure, but 28 times, you might actually get to the base XP first, unless you are in like a VZ and are just absolutely farming all the time. And the 10th one is, I don't know how, I think this would probably take in the vicinity of at least twice as, so 70 battles, maybe even 100, just to do it 35 times for like high level players, which means for most people the base XP is by far the best thing. So all told, that's like 250,000 XP, give or take, base XP if you're not doing the mission for mastery, because the mission for mastery, they've gotten harder. So I would recommend aiming for about 7 or 8 for completion. If you want to get this thing at a discount, getting it for free is going to take a lot of grinding, and doing it for like maybe just a slight discount will take very little effort, but it'll be more money. Anyways, post-game stats, just a little over 3k damage, some spotting assist that I got right at the end. There we can see that the base XP for this not crazy game was actually 1300. So this is something that I would expect to see possibly is really high base XP values from this tank. As for credit making, it's okay. I don't think it's anything special, especially when you take into account the fact that the premium ammo actually costs a lot. So to wrap it up, that is the AltProto AMX 30, the new marathon reward tank. It is a premium tank, so it makes credits. Overall, I think it is worth picking up if you have either the time or the money. It is not OP, but it is a lot of fun. It's not like, I think it was like the 122 TM where it was not worth picking up unless you're a collector, because it had terrible DPM, didn't really have anything going for it. This thing is fast, the gun is pretty decent, and 11 degrees of gun depression. If you like tanks like the Leo, or even just the standard AMX 30, this is definitely something for you. Otherwise, enjoy the rewards that you get from doing the marathon by just playing the game at your own pace. And thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, and follow my Discord if you guys are interested in knowing what's going on. I do post updates in there. For example, I haven't posted a video in quite a long time, and I do plan on having some more videos coming out in the near future. So, happy holidays, and I will see you guys around.